or live a life of Toastmaster, I would rather say. And third, how you can be part of the Toastmaster. Okay. How many of you are coming for, have heard the Toastmaster for the first time? Is there anyone?
I have heard it before, but I'm coming for the first time.
Coming for the first time, wonderful.
I'm also for the first time.
First time, wonderful. Give them a round of applause. And my talk would make sense to people who did not know about Toastmaster and have come here to hear about the Toastmaster. So that's wonderful. The first one-liner of Toastmaster is, it helps you manage your declivity in life. If you have a Down syndrome at times when things are not going right, if you need to add on some vitamins or the pills or something to energize, this is something as a part of knowledge, this is something as a part of the company, this is something, a lifestyle that helps you to handle the declivity in life. Where is mind of peace be all the listeners. Now, so what is Toastmaster? A gentleman in the United States then realized that each and every individual requires a skill to speak to the public when occasion does come. So one needs to be prepared for that moment, and that preparation has to take place somewhere in dungeon, in a dark room probably then, when Toastmaster was not there. So he finally found out that there has to be a very good platform where this skill has to be nurtured. And then on, it multiplied. Toastmaster was realized. Today we have about 300,000 members across the world. There are about 20,000 clubs across the world. We in Nepal are fortunate. We were given Toastmasters in 1991 when the expats working for United Nations services did come to Nepal, and they also realized that they should have Toastmasters in Nepal, and they started Toastmasters. We are fortunate that we are older than Toastmasters in India. Like the Farping hydroelectricity plant would used to be, the Farping hydroelectricity plant used to be the first hydroelectricity plant in Asia. But somehow the mind of Nepalese, our past generations probably didn't manage it properly, and we went the drain, and today we do not carry the pride of being the most electrified country, though we started so early. Similarly, Toastmaster, if is not taken carefully, probably will the same. And I think so did happen. Toastmasters was not part of a district. It started in 1991, but it was not a part of district. We had just few, 2-3 clubs. So we were confined to our own confinement. We had activities together, whatever little we learned from Toastmaster International. And therefore we missed some amount of drive, the energy, the dynamism from the Toastmaster. Now we are part of District 41. Okay. There are 14 regions. The Toastmaster is divided, headquarter, then it's divided into the region, Toastmaster region, then the districts, then the division, then the club, and the individual. Division, area, and club, and the members. The focus of Toastmaster is the members, individuals. focus of Toastmaster is the individual. Each individual, see the faces, the difference of faces around you. We all are different in our potentials. We come from different background, different DNA that we carry, the different potentials that we carry, different possibilities that we carry. And Toastmaster is a forum which nurtures your dream. If you have a dream to become a communicator, if you have a dream to become a leader, if you have a dream to become a good friend of good people, this is a forum. So it meets the requirement of each and every individual. I become a Toastmaster I'm a member of Toastmasters in 1996. I do not say these days Toastmaster is a club that you go to, because the club has got different connotations in our mind. Club where you go, dine, speak, drink, and make merry and come back. No. Toastmaster is a lifestyle. Lifestyle that you would like to lead, to nurture the inner strength that you would like to grow and become a different being. Lifestyle which can nurture the positivity in you, the lifestyle that can nurture the social, the intelligence, we call it emotional intelligence that you have. Do you know how to talk to a stranger? There is a project, there is a manual which tells you how to speak to a stranger. Do you know how to speak to media? There is a project which lets you learn how to speak to radio or television. The project that he was doing, how to organize a speech, get to the point. The project that she was speaking is focusing on a different skill. Each individual is able to choose the kind of pathways they want to nurture their communications and leadership skill. The Toastmaster has recently revised its education pathways. Earlier we used to have a hard copy manual. Once you become a Toastmaster, member of the Toastmaster International, the manual will get mailed to you and you refer to the manual and prepare your speeches. But currently Toastmaster has revised, and the revision is called the pathways. The learning channel is called the pathways. And the image is borrowed from Nepal. So there is a base camp where you evaluate your level. Where are you in communications or leadership track? You evaluate and then you decide which path do you want to take. What do you want to become? Like the path that I am currently taking after having enrolled in the pathways is I would like to be a mentor and a coach. So all the projects that I do will nurture the mentoring and coaching skill that I would like to acquire. Anybody who would like to become a leader will have a different pathways. Anybody who would like to be a humorous speaker will have a different pathways. Anybody who would like to be a networking, dealing with the people, will have a different pathways. So each individual can choose their own path from the pathways. The source is www.toastmasters.org. You just log in. The guests also can now log in. If you are not registered as a Toastmaster member, you can log in and get the feel of the pathways and other learning materials that the Toastmaster offers. Once you become a member, you will be given a password, ID and password, and then you have access to the fountain of learning that Toastmaster for a century has prepared. It continues a lot of researches and updating the education material, and that comes, as you become a member, that comes, you are part of that, and that comes so easily. We being in this part of the world, I think we have access to something that is being done in the other part of the world, and that's a wonderful access that a Toastmaster gets. So that's what Toastmaster is all about. Second, why should you join? Each and everyone has their own need. I would like to nurture the communication, leadership, coaching, mentoring skill in me, so I would like to be a public speaker where I can go and train people. Therefore, I joined Toastmasters, and it has continuously nurturing my skill. So each of you can evaluate what is your need, why do you want to join the Toastmaster. If you cannot find the reason in Toastmaster, sit down with a mentor. We are mentors, people who have joined Toastmasters earlier and have learned some skills of mentoring. They can help you. And with gradual progressions in the projects that you make, whatever leadership skills, on communication skills, you will gather some skills to evaluate yourselves. As you become a member of the Toastmaster lets you evaluate where you stand. There is a evaluation sheet where there are simple questions given which will help you reflect on your own positions and therefore decide what is the next step that you should take. So, why Rupali coming from Tachal? Imagine if you were asked to come to Tachal for some simple reason, you will have hundreds of excuses. Tachal, far, there is no vehicle, the roads are not good, this is not a good time, early in the morning. But when you are so motivated by the purpose, the mission, nothing stops. I'm sure she had some amount of mental mapping, a lot of priorities redesigned at home to be here in the morning. And I can see my positions when I joined Toastmaster. I used to work for Standard Chartered Bank then. Working in Standard Chartered Bank was not that easy, so you were given so much of work. Amit is still there, nodding his head. For him going to evening Toastmaster would be a problem. I tried evening Toastmaster throughout. Because leaving the work undone in the evening and rushing to a Toastmaster meeting would be a very difficult task. Therefore, we realized that morning Toastmaster should be there. And you see the outcome. There are people lined up. They have been calling. They are trying to put their priorities in order so that they can be here in the morning. So, having realized evening Toastmaster is a very pressing moment for some people to organize, so the morning Toastmaster. And we are in Baneshwar. Baneshwar is, we have a parliamentary house there. The old settlement, Baneshwar stands for the prime ministers from Baneshwar, Sankaraj, Acharya from Baneshwar. It's a very historic place where a big, dense population. So I'm sure the people here need that forum. There are many shops and the restaurants where you can go in the evening, drink and dine and spend and nurture your declivity, in fact. We would like to invite people in the coffee shop with a warm coffee that you can sip and learn the positivity, the communication, leadership skills, and be benefited from the resource that the Toastmaster has. Therefore, you would decide Who other people should be here? Why is a very mundane questions to be answered. Now, how do you be part of a Toastmaster now? It's a very simple form. There are, let me, the members, could you please stand up? The members who have already taken. So any of these people that you would like to contact? Thank you. Toastmaster Sakar, who is currently enjoying his trip with his beloved in Bali. We miss him a lot, but he'll come rejuvenated from the vacation that he has taken. So he is around here. Now, joining Toastmaster is, for this Toastmaster, if you are 18 years old and willing to be part of Toastmaster, that's the only entry criteria that we have. We are almost done with the chartering process. 20 members are at least required for us to charter the club. There are 12 clubs already chartered in Kathmandu. This is the 13th club that we are trying. Once you become a member of this club, you have an access to even other clubs. So you can go and speak there. I'm sure you remember when Toastmaster, Table Topic Master was giving, there are sessions where guests are allowed, but there are sessions where guests are not allowed to speak, only the members are allowed. So you need to be a member of Toastmasters, then you can take those speaking assignments and get evaluated. Then the enrichment process begins. Otherwise, you will just be an onlooker. Speaking here is so important. Sitting there will just like sitting beside a swimming pool and trying to learn swimming. Coming here and feel the pumping of the heart, the nervousness, the shivering, the emotional changes that you go through, and going back there, sitting and listening to the evaluator giving a critical feedback and imbibing those values is a wonderful experience which otherwise you are prevented. So you need to be a member of Toastmaster. The forms are available, so you can fill in the forms and we will charter the club. Bhanushar Toastmaster, I see a big future. I live very close by, and my daughter is just in class 10, and after she finishes her class 10, so father and daughter come. This club is going to be a family Toastmasters. The composition that we see, family Toastmaster. Toastmaster Munni, give round of applause.
Thank you.
You should come and listen to her speech. She has done PhD, she has worked around the world. She is now an entrepreneur, but she still feels Toastmaster can enrich her experience. Give her a round of applause. Therefore, my dear friends, we can be part of the community and you can decide today. Let me remind you, today is 25th of July 2018, can be a turning point of your life. Get a form, fill in now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhanu, for such a twist of Bhanushar Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster is an organization. From declivity, we reach from those dungeons, we reach in this platform. And this is what Toastmasters is. So now we'll get the evaluation session started. But before that, we'll have a 2-minute extra twister from our Toastmaster, who will be doing a short survey of every Toastmaster for his manual probably. So I'd like to call Toastmaster Sitaram.
Timer, please track me 1 minute, 1 ring to 1 and 30 minutes, 30 seconds, 2 ring, and then 2 minutes, 3 ring.
Thank you so much.
So my time starts now. So Toastmasters and members, since 2016, I am involved in Toastmasters. I didn't have idea before I entered in the meeting what exactly Toastmasters is. But I am in slow but learning, and I am doing my project in project 7, research project. So research project means why not to research among the members and guests, collecting some database, your experience from 12 meetings of all the clubs. And it is my 4th Toastmasters meeting collecting these types of data. At very short and sweet, I think you completed before 2 minutes that I completed my session. This is all about project. And it has 2 independent variables and 1 dependent variable, including other survey data. For example, how many guests will we have among the 12 meetings? How many members will you have, and how many members attended meeting last month, maybe 4 times, and then 6 times, and then say 16 meetings Toastmasters Saurabh attended last time.